This is a message for Sagittarius. Sagittarius, we got a story here, and the overall energy, we got the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune here, and it's been a common card that's been coming out a lot in this story, so it's a collective message, but it's also just a general message for Sagittarius. So if you're drawn to this reading, it's for you. It doesn't necessarily you don't have to necessarily be a Sagittarius, but the story starts off with this, what looks like, I believe it's the Eight of Wands in this card, or in this deck, and it shows us this image of, you see there, I'll let you look closer, it's kind of hard to see, but it's what it is, it's these witches flying in the sky, and down at the bottom, it looks like there's about 5 of them, and what I'm seeing here is this image of these witches taking, because at the bottom here, at the bottom there's one witch that's on the wand, and what that witch kind of is showing, it looks to me, it looks like it's a male witch, but almost like they're teaching him how to fly on his broomstick. I'm getting this, like the story of Harry Potter when he's in school and he's learning all this stuff. You got all these experienced witches that are flying through the sky, and they're trying to teach this new witch how to fly on his broomstick. And it looks like the reason that this person, this young witch is here, is because he's gone through this process, this rebirth process. And we start off with, it's an image of a maiden that's sitting by herself here. She's sitting by herself and she's kissing her hand, like kissing her wounds. I'm getting this image of someone that's gone through something traumatic in their life, and they've been forced into this rebirth process. We get this next image here of, it looks like maybe an angel or something like that looking over this maiden that's lying down, and I'm seeing the maiden being in the first image, the one that's kissing their wounds, like she's, it looks like she's almost dead. She's just been, her chest is exposed, and almost like she's being prepared for the grave, but over her she has this healing energy of someone coming towards her, and just looking at her in awe, like it looks like a very loving image, like whatever it is, this divine image of someone coming towards them. And I get this next image of this, it looks like a fairy with a baby on its back. So I'll let you see there. See, it looks like a fairy right there, and it has a baby on its back. And I'm saying the fairy as whatever the person is, of the image of the person that has gone through this traumatic experience, that divine has come into their life and has had to take them away to a better place so they can heal, because they're in this energy right now. We get this image of, it looks like a mermaid, but it's a merman. We got a merman, but he's been ravished by life. He's destroyed. We're seeing, it's an image of an older you can't really see very well, but it's an old merman. So this person is, it's like they feel like their time has come, like all their magic has been ripped out of their life, and so they're having to go through this rebirth process. And the thing that they once were, yesterday in a message we got the story of, like Ursula in the Little Mermaid, and where she had to leave and everything. So I'm getting more of this imagery still of, it's like the time that one part of their life has ended, like we're getting this image of someone that's old. It's time for them to end, and they were still a magical place in their life when they were, at the beginning here. You can see this person was always in a magical place, but that part of their life, the mermaid part, it looks like it's died. Or if it's not died, it's dead. It's dying. If it's not dead, it's dying. And this person has been taken off into this new place, with this fairy energy. You can look at it as fairies, you can look at it as angels, whatever you want, but just the images in these cards are showing a fairy taking the baby away. And as the person has died, they're being taken away, and as they're coming into this new realm of their life, they're a baby. They're a brand new little baby walking around, learning to walk, learning to fly in his broomstick, just living in this land with the fairies and growing. And as they're growing, we get this image of, it looks like a jester, or I want to say this is probably I'm not too familiar with this deck yet, but I think it's probably the devil card, because it looks like a jester, but the jester looks like, see, he kind of looks like the devil. So I think this is probably the devil card here, and the devil is dancing with this young maiden. And again, I'm seeing, as she's going through this process, and she's in this new land. She meets this new person, and she's dancing, having fun, but look on her face, she's like, I don't know, should I be dancing with this devil? Should I, is he best for me? I've gone, I know what I've gone through in the past. So it's just giving me this, and remember, these are all just images. In tarot, we use like a lot of hypotheticals, and for me, I get a lot of my stories from like cartoons and books and old um, mythology and stuff like that. And all these messages that we've received throughout history are they're metaphors for our life experience. So just remember, this doesn't, these examples that I'm giving, it's not necessarily like real, like you're actually like going away with fairies or something like that. I mean, maybe it is. I don't know your story, but these are examples for our minds to process what's going on in our lives. And underneath this, that's why I think it probably is the devil energy or whatever it is, of something that you're not quite sure about, something that you're like, oh, do I want to be dancing around in this new relationship again? Because you get this fox image, it's that sly fox. I'm getting again another example from a cartoon or a fairy tale story of, remember Pinocchio, when I think it was a fox that took Pinocchio off into the land where he was, he went away with the boys, and they were going and they were playing and learning all these bad tricks and stuff. I think it was a fox that tried to get him to go, and it's that kind of energy that I'm getting. The fox is, you look at him, and he looks like a handsome fox, and he looks like he doesn't look like he's evil, like he's trying to kill you or something like that, but mischievous nonetheless. But that's the end of the story there. We'll start over here underneath the witches that are starting to teach. It looks like we get this Lovers card. So something happened. What was it? They say lovers, the forest lovers. So, and they're bound together here. Something happens here with these that's brought this energy into your life between a romantic situation, and right after it we get this injustice. We get injustice right after the lovers. So I'm seeing some kind of injustice has happened in this love situation, and whatever happened, it's brought you through this energy of needing a rebirth. We get because right again we get the lone horse again. We get the horse image, and I've had that before, and it just shows me this energy of like a wild Mustang running through life, or going through life, not necessarily running, but going through life on their own, just as like a wild horse in the forest. And as you're going through, we get the next card of tradition. Tradition is showing, someone that's on this healing journey again, and as they're on it, they're learning all these healing practices, and you get like Stonehenge in the back, and the moon shining over, which represents spirit for me, and it looks like they're learning all these healing practices. They have the snake and the rattle in their hand. You get like this, like a monk energy or a shaman or something like that is what you're learning. And right after you get that, while you're learning all these practices, we get the woodward man. And the woodward man, to me, I've given this example before of how it's like this Tarzan energy of they're going out learning all these things, and when you come through it, after you've learned the tradition and you've learned how to grow and learn how to heal and go through your rebirth, you're going to come out this woodward man. This woodward man being someone that you're not going to fall for things that you've fallen for in the past. You're not going to be as vulnerable as you were when you were this young maiden, because you're not the young maiden anymore. Now you're this, you've balanced out your feminine and your masculine. Maybe when you were so vulnerable and you became this energy of this wounded warrior, you weren't balanced out, so you were vulnerable. And a lot of times these things happen in our lives when we are vulnerable. Almost always when because if you weren't vulnerable, it wouldn't have been able to happen. So you were vulnerable. You weren't balanced out. You were giving too much to a situation, or you were just, you weren't in your most balanced, highest self energy. But once you go through this healing process in the new journey, you're coming out this woodward man, which is he's totally balanced. He's not just some masculine tough guy. He's sitting there, he's enjoying a cup of tea, sitting next to his cat. He's both. He's balanced out. He's got his sword in one hand, where if anything comes up behind him, he's ready to strike. But in the same sense, he's enjoying nature. He's just sitting there enjoying life, being totally balanced out. And while he's doing it, he's enjoying this ace of vessels, which is the waters of life. And that's what it's going into. It's going into this energy of you're in a brand new place. You've gone through the rebirth process. And as you've gone through this rebirth process, now you're at the waters of life. And as you're at the waters of life, I talked about the fox before, but I'm seeing, for some reason, I'm getting the fox energy, even though it is a mischievous energy. You're not too sure about it. It's coming underneath that devil energy, but it's coming after the waters of life. Now remember, the fox, all animals, all energies are all part of the universe. So it's, as men, as humans living in a world that worries about protecting our chickens and that sort of thing, we make certain animals like snakes and foxes and bears. We make them into like these evil things. We give them negative aspects, but they're not. It's just showing, while you're doing your healing, once you're ready, you're drinking the waters of life, this fox energy is coming into your life. And it looks like what it is it's showing you, it's just giving, it's like a portrait. It's giving you a portrait of what he is. And that's kind of where the story ends here, is once you've gone through your healing process, your fox comes in. So let's go here and get some messages, see if we get some advice from the angels. So we're looking for advice for Sagittarius on, let's see here, what do you need advice for? Well, we'll just see what they say. We'll see what they say, because they know better than I do. We'll see here. Advice for Sagittarius. Advice for Sagittarius. All right, we got stand up for yourself and your beliefs. Have confidence, challenge those in power, but also choose your battles wisely. So, it looks like what's happening here is, while you're on this journey of healing, as you're going through it, you got to remind yourself that you're still you. You got people guiding you. You got things that are going to challenge your belief systems, and you're going to be learning new things. But it's saying stand up for yourself and your beliefs, not someone else's belief, not something that someone's teaching you. Stand up for your beliefs. Have confidence. Challenge those in power, but also choose your battles wisely. So, all right, Sagittarius, looks like you're on a fun journey. So, I look forward to doing more messages and seeing what else comes into your future. But have a good day.